What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Batista, and you're listening to another episode of the Bomcast.
What?
I'm joined by my usual co-hosts, Mike Morano and Patrick O'Chang. The Mets are in peril. WrestleMania was this past weekend, and Rough Draft, we're ranking the top three Raw after Mania moments. Mike and Pat, what's going on, fellas?
What?
What?
The Mets are trying to kill the vibes, but we're staying
Dude,
positive
Because
the next 48 hours are dedicated to the Final Four in WrestleMania. That's all that really matters.
The Mets got mad because I've been looking forward to this weekend for a very long time, and opening day was supposed to be this week.
Mm-hmm.
And they decided to take the whole spotlight away. But
It's supposed to be yesterday, right?
Nothing is stopping me. No, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, yesterday.
Maybe the 31st.
Yeah, probably a Thursday. Yeah.
Nothing is stopping me from enjoying WrestleMania weekend, dude. I got today. I worked today. I got out early. Off tomorrow. I mean, WrestleMania weekend is totally taking up everything right now.
Yeah, I should be starting my shift in 10 minutes, but I actually gave this someone because of this. It also turned out I had to go fix my car, so that actually ended up being good timing at all. But in reality, it's for WrestleMania. I wasn't going to miss the first hour and a half of WrestleMania.
Can't let anything ruin.
Tomorrow I'll miss like the first 10 minutes. Not a big deal. I gotta get the money, obviously, I'm a grinder. But you can't ruin this. It's the one weekend a year I can watch wrestling and not be judged because everyone else is doing it too.
100%. Yeah. It really does. It really is true.
I'm never afraid to tweet about wrestling around WrestleMania because everyone else is doing it.
There's no shame.
If I tweeted about this shit in like the middle of July when Backlash is going on or some shit, everyone's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? But
I never live tweet a wrestling show like I do WrestleMania. I'm all in on it. All in.
I kind of realized, like in college, like my freshman year of college, dude, every Monday, every Tuesday, every pay-per-view, I was watching every show from start to finish.
Yeah, it was very weird too. It was unhealthy. It was. Now looking back on it, I never thought it was that good, but it's better than what they have now. Because I tried watching Raw the other day, or even SmackDown last night.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Like, well, actually, I just realized I had USA Network. I didn't think I had it, but I have it, so I kind of watched Raw last week. But I mean, like a couple years ago, like freshman and sophomore year of college, I know for a fact every Monday and Tuesday I watched Raw from start to finish, SmackDown from start to finish, and every pay-per-view start to finish. And I wish I could do that again, but I'm trying, but I just couldn't. But I've been on a wrestling kick lately. I think it's because of Mania and because the Mets suck. Yeah. So the Mets are in peril, like you said. And let me because Pat said it before. Pat insulted me and said, "Oh, great, Mike's going to take over the show as he normally does because it's Mike's show. It's no one else's show." I know, Pat. I know. I get it.
Any of those words, but you got it, brother.
But the Mets are in peril. 2 days ago, the Mets looked awesome, and I was so excited.
They were great. They were fantastic.
It's so sad to think about it.
They were great.
On March 30th? Bro.
The Mets had a complete overhaul of the roster. You brought in guys, baseball guys. You got baseball guys. You had Buck Showalter. You brought in Marte, Kana, Scherzer. I mean, like when you bring in Scherzer, you're not even just paying for his service. You're also just paying for like the kind of experience he brings in and like putting guys in check and like, the Mets, kind of notorious for having a inexperienced clubhouse. Like with Lindor and McNeil, what happened last year too. Like you kind of get guys that bring everyone in check, and you bring this type of guy in. Everyone just blew up in like a day. It just didn't make sense. Like we went literally like 6 days ago, it was DeGrom and Scherzer in the same spring training game, and everyone was going Google Gaga over it. And now DeGrom gets to do his yearly. Let me check out for a little bit of the season so I can catch up on Gilmore Girls. And Scherzer was like, "Well, if he's gonna watch Gilmore Girls, I better catch up on
One Tree
One Tree Hill.
$100,000 pyramid game show." So it was kind of a mess, and we went from DeGrom starting. We went from our biggest issue as Mets fans is watching Max Scherzer on the second day on Apple TV, and now it's Scherzer's probably not going to start opening day. DeGrom is out for a month at least, and now we're going to go to a bullpen game. little bullpen game on opening day.
I'm just reading a
Opening
comment
day.
actually. It says, imagine looking at the opening day box score and seeing Eric Hosmer and cleanup and Drew Smith getting the start.
And now the Mets are doing a panic move where they're talking to. I mean, listen, if you want to trade Dom Smith, that's fine.
It looks like Dom wants to be traded too.
Dom probably wants to be traded. I love Dom, but again, I'm not gonna think that Dom is the next whatever. I understand he's a trade piece. He doesn't fit directly in. He's just a good bench player to have, but he's more than that. Same thing with JD Davis. If you want to trade those guys, fine. Trade them for good pitchers. Trade them for good pitchers. Don't do this whole San Diego thing where we're going to get Eric Hosmer, who's owed $60 million.
Padres are paying most of it, apparently.
They're going to pay for $25 million, which is fine. And I think the Mets are probably going to flip Hosmer anyway, if that is the case.
They can. I saw they
He has to waive it.
They have to wait.
He has to waive it.
Oh, waive the no trade. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because he has no spot in the Mets anyway.
No, he doesn't. But the Mets will find a well when
he can't DH, or unless he can play. If Cano's playing DH, he can't DH.
When Alonso gets COVID and is out for 3 months, Hosmer's going to fit in perfectly with this team. So you usually take on bad contracts when you get good pitchers or good players out of it. So if you take on Hosmer, you better hope for a good player. It's Chris Paddock, who was good for the month of May in 2019. That was it.
He had a cup of coffee and that was it. Yeah.
No, because the Padres fans told me he should have won Rookie of the Year over Pete.
Because he had that bitch fit in May where he said he should have been Rookie of the Month over Alonso, and that was it. That was Chris Paddock's career up until this point.
Yeah.
He's not right. Mike is not wrong.
Do you think this trade actually goes through though? Do you think
yes,
this
I
actually
genuinely
happens?
think this trade goes through.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a panic move with DeGrom out watching Gilmore Girls for the next 3 months. He's going to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to be out for a long time because Buck Showalter says, well, when like the trade deadline comes and we eventually don't make any moves, DeGrom's going to come back and it's going to kind of be like our trade deadline acquisition. All right, Buck, let's do the math here. The trade deadline is on the 31st of July. He's not
4 months from
start
now
until August.
He's out for 4 months.
You just said that. You just said he's out till August right then and there. Okay.
Also, he hurt his scapula.
They're
the
making
fuck is
a
that?
body part.
I had no idea what that was either.
Did this happen last year? Someone got hurt last year and they made up some complete fucking fake thing in your arm. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I thought a scapula is when you cut someone open during surgery and the doctor goes, scapula.
I was looking, I was like, there's no way it's a real thing. And it was. I was like, yo.
It's like a bone, right? It's a bone.
It's like
4 months?
It's like a muscle near your mouth. Let me look it up again.
It's not a muscle thing, it's a bone thing, I think. Because they're like, well, the bone just has to heal. And then
it's your shoulder bone. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's legit your shoulder. Yeah.
Oh.
So now the Mets.
I was about to say 4 months for a bone nobody's ever heard of.
Okay. See, that's why they're gonna be dickheads. They said he hurt his scapula. All they did do is say he hurt his shoulder blade. We all know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I know,
but
here's the thing. They make up body parts to think that like they're tricking us to thinking it's an important body part, which it is, but you're making it like a different, you're saying like the scientific term of it.
Maybe DeGrom should just stop throwing the ball 100 miles an hour.
Here's what DeGrom is going to do now. This is what the Mets are faced with, okay? Because I'm done worrying about this shit. I have to accept the fact that this time next year, DeGrom is going to opt out of his contract. He's going to become a Philadelphia Philly. Scherzer's going to ask for a trade. He's going to become a Washington National again. And the best thing the Mets have going for them is that Chris Paddock's going to have a 3.5 ERA in the month of July, and we're going to say he's back. That's it. Like this is
shabby.
You're forgetting about Chris Paddock, the Bassett, whatever the fuck his name is.
I'm just saying this is the best we're going to get. Okay. But hey, at least we won the offseason 2 years in a row now.
How did we win it last year?
We got Lindor.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Lindor.
We got Scherzer, Marte.
To be fair, no, the Padres also won the offseason last year. Don't forget that. And the Dodgers. A lot of teams claim they won the offseason, and they didn't. The Dodgers got Bauer. He fucking beat someone up, and they got kicked off the team. And then they traded for Scherzer and whatever. They won the deadline as well, and they did fuck all. So
the Mets were offseason champs this year, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, who else? I mean, the offseason was 2 weeks long.
So at least they got that. At least Cohen can say that he spent money. So we're gonna make a tax trade. It's going to piss me off because I'm going to sit down on my couch April 7th, where I'm moving my dentist appointment to do this because I have a dentist appointment.
Do you have so many dentist appointments? You've been 2 times in the last 3 weeks.
And I have 2 more to go to. I have 2 more to go.
What is wrong?
What is wrong with your teeth? Just don't go to the dentist, bro.
Are you genuinely okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Why are you taking monthly trips to the dentist?
Okay. So, I mean, we could break that down in a second.
Okay.
Let me get this statement out first, and then I'll explain the dentist portion of it. April 7th, I'm going to move my dentist appointment, April 7th at 4:00, so I could sit down and watch Eric Hosmer start at first base and Justin Upton start at left field because Starlet Marte has an oblique injury. And JD Davis and Dom Smith are going to be playing. Dom Smith's going to be playing in San Diego. JD Davis is going to be playing in Los Angeles. And we're going to get Justin Upton and we're going to get Eric Hosmer. And
he just got DFA'd, so.
I know, and they're going to find a way to trade him. And the Mets are going to pull that trigger because they're going to be like, oh my God, Justin Upton's back. And then we're going to be like, we're going to get guys that were good when the Mets were last in the World Series in 2015. That's when they were good. Justin Upton still in 2015 was up for debate at that point still.
And Eric Hosmer beat the Mets allegedly.
And Eric Hosmer beat the Mets.
The World Series they get canceled that year, but some people say the Royals might have won. Not me. That's fake news.
To go to the dentist real quick. I went a month. When did I go? March 8th. I went
last week.
I went March 8th is the first time.
Okay.
That was just to get a cleanup checkup. The dentist looks at me like I'm crazy, but he was actually really cool. Told me everything I had wrong on my teeth. I had 2 cavities, and this is for not going to the dentist and not getting cavities filled in 2.5 years. So I had two cavities to get filled still from 2.5 years. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful.
Are they bigger? Every time you go to the dentist, does the dentist point out that the cavities get bigger, or they're just there?
No, because he goes to a different dentist every fucking time.
I've gone through.
They don't have the history.
Yeah, they don't know the history that well. I mean, the Oswego dentist was a really bad trip. They tried to bill me $8,000.
I remember that. That was crazy.
Basically, the guy was super chill. Basically said I had 2 cavities to get filled. Bang, boom, got that done last week. That was the last week trip. I had to get 2 cavities filled. Now I have to go in April 7th, which I'm not going to get 2 crowns put in.
Okay. How old are you again?
I'm 22.
Just making sure.
It's good.
They're not anything in the front. They're in the back. So I don't.
Are the crowns are when you have the silver and gold in your teeth, right?
I mean, it's not like the 80s anymore. So I doubt they did that.
Yes, it is. It's silver. My sister, it's like 10 years ago. My sister had that shit.
Yeah, isn't that a thing?
They put a silver tooth in there.
I don't think it's silver anymore. I think they changed that. Trust me, I would know.
Did they change
you
crowns?
know what? Mike would know. Mike goes to the dentist every 6 weeks. He would know.
I know they don't. I don't think they do the whole silver thing anymore.
What do you think? What do they do now? It's just a white?
I think it's just white. I think it's supposed to blend in with your teeth. It's not supposed to look like you bit a quarter, Also, Tyler texted me just saying, is Liv Morgan wrestling today?
I think she's wrestling tomorrow.
Yeah, he has a huge crush on Liv Morgan.
I get it.
So I have 3 of those to get put in. Nice. By the grace of God, insurance is covering all of it.
That's pretty good.
Insurance covered both the cavity fills, which they were going to regardless. It's just that the crowns and caps, that was up in the air. If I wasn't getting that covered, I would be paying $3,000 for that, for the crowns. It's about $1,000.
It wouldn't happen in fucking Canada. I'll tell you that.
Nothing good happens in Canada. No.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it's good. I just saying it wouldn't happen.
So hypothetically Wednesday I have to get 2 put in, and then he spaced it out because insurance things. I'm going back in June and I'm getting the 3rd one put in.
It's nuts.
And then in September I go back for my month, my 6-month checkup. I put it in September.
You should at this point you should just get like the all cap teeth.
And get rid of your teeth and get dentures.
I'm telling you, the first thing I would get if I won the lottery is getting veneers, and that's not a question.
It's just, you know what? It's a smart move.
That is like my life goal, is to just to take out all my teeth and just put in veneers. But listen, this isn't a current Mike Morano problem. This is a past Mike Morano problem paying for, this is future Mike Morano paying for his past problems, because back in the day, I did not take care of my teeth. I was a big soda drinker. I don't drink that much soda, contrary to popular belief anymore. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
You used veneers for 10 years.
I know. And if I had the money, I would just replace it.
Yeah.
But I've really, the past 4 years, I think I've really started taking really good care of my teeth, because 4 years ago I had no cavities last time I went. And then I didn't go to the dentist for over a year because of COVID and whatnot. So I've been doing really well. Flossing, doing the whole shebang. This is just 13-year-old Michael Morano come back to pay his dues.
You floss?
I floss all the time.
I don't floss. I don't believe that
because
shit.
I like
don't
to
have time for that.
I like to chew on the pick. So I just floss.
Oh, you use a pick?
Yeah, I use a pick.
Oh,
I use
use
the
the
floss. I cannot stand
You guys
It's
floss?
a person.
Yeah, I have gingivitis. I have to.
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
I have
I
to.
use no
more
the,
late though.
the pick. I just chew on it and I let it go in between my teeth. It's
No,
not like
I use the straight up wrap around your
the
fingers. and
string
just-
is so annoying to use.
It's the worst thing ever, but it gets the job
I
done.
just feel like that. I mean, you can call me disgusting. I just feel like that takes so much time. Just brush your teeth.
No, it doesn't. It takes literally 30 seconds.
Yeah,
To each one?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's 30 seconds. I can be doing anything else.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm
With
thinking.
the pick is just
I used the pick like Don's like I use like to get like foods out of my teeth.
Okay.
Like,
I'm
get,
all
like steak as I stuck
straight
in.
up floss.
well, you got
Well,
just
maybe I should listen to Mike. He is the tooth expert over here.
It's true.
Fucking Chip Skylark over fucking here,
well, I went to the dentist last March 8th, which almost a month ago, and the guy said you have great dental hygiene. He said that, which was
Did you go
which I-
last week?
Yeah, he did.
No, but
He's
the
gone
first
twice
time.
the past month.
This is just a checkup.
The
But-
checkup. Then last week was why he went again because
When they were
the cavities
fixing-
filled.
Problems, yeah. So I had to go to the dentist 4 times within
In
like
a
a
4-month
month
period.
and a half.
It's good.
Not even.
It's real good.
Yeah, good dental hygiene then clean.
But he said I had good dental hygiene. Again, this is past Mike Morano problems that are just coming back to pay his dues. But like current one, and again, when he said that, that is the first time a dentist has ever complimented my teeth.
I remember with the first time I went to a dentist, like ever. I don't know. My family was bleeding out apparently. Me and my sisters went. Maybe not the first time. The first time I remember. Me and my sisters all went, and both of them had cavities, and I didn't. I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever. But then again, they all had cavities on like they were young, so all their teeth were gonna fall out, so it didn't fucking matter. But I was at that point, all my teeth were falling out. I didn't have the cavities. I was like, oh, I'm the big baller, and I didn't go to the dentist for a very long time after that.
Oh my god, dude! Like
I think
since
that
I
was
was
great.
young, I've been getting threatened that my teeth are gonna fall out every single day.
A kid I knew growing when I was younger, he used to drink so much soda and eat so much junk food that one time he went to the dentist. He had 10 cavities.
Oh, are we talking this?
Oh god.
Are
Why
we
was
talking-
that?
The numbers?
No, dude, that's rookie numbers. When I was
Is it
13,
really?
I had 16 cavities.
Double-
Now
Holy shit.
How old are you?
I was 13. I had 16 cavities in my mouth.
So you had as many
Yes.
cavities as like
Yes, you
half
think
your
of the
teeth.
worst case scenario? I had it. I got screamed at by my dentist. I swear to God, it was.
Yeah.
That's why
That's
I'm
half
scared.
your teeth.
That's why I'm scared of the dentist, because when I was 13, I swear to God, I got chastised by my dentist.
I
And
feel like that's what the old dentists is that now.
I had, which I never understand why dentists get mad at you when you get cavities, bro. That's more work for you, bro. You're getting more. hours.
This is
More
your
money.
job.
Not, dude. I mean,
It's like a
Jesus
doctor getting
Christ.
mad at you because you're sick.
Fuck! I have to do my job.
You're not fucking flossing, you fucking idiot.
Because they're fucking salary. So that means like it's less time for them to stare at bright white walls like they're in the asylum. Dentist offices are the worst.
Well, they have to be clean. They're working with mouths.
It's
Yeah.
the worst, dude.
They definitely did not make money during COVID, right?
Dude,
I
at
feel
least
like
have
that's
a
the last
fucking-
place I would go during COVID.
At least have a fucking poster on your fucking wall, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ, the smell is awful.
Yeah, but the only and the poster they have is just like a tooth that's like decaying or some shit.
It's smiling. And it just looks disgusting. Dude. But yeah, I was 13 and I had 16 cavities. And then for the next 2 weeks, I had to go in every single day and get 2 cavities put in, 2 cavities filled.
That's crazy.
It
That is
was
just
the
nuts.
worst. It was the worst like week and a half of my life because it was just nonstop pain, numbness, going back. same shit. And then like the next year I had like 7. The next year, I wish I was making this up, but I didn't. Like I really had like the worst teeth known to man.
It's a little funny, Mike. You're one of the few people I know who got their wisdom teeth removed too.
I had my wisdom teeth removed, which is a whole other story because those came in when I was a freshman in college, and like I experienced like so much pain from that because I had strep throat at the same time, so I couldn't chew, I couldn't eat. I lost 15 pounds during that process too. Like Mike Morano and mouth and teeth, we don't get along.
I've had 8 teeth pulled when I was a kid.
The fuck you do?
For what?
My teeth, when like you're the age of when you're supposed to lose teeth, my teeth wouldn't come out of my head. So I would get like shark teeth because the adult tooth would start growing like underneath and behind my other teeth. So like pretty much the whole top and bottom row of my front teeth, I had to get pulled just because they wouldn't come out of my head.
I don't.
My teeth came out perfectly fine. So.
I also have another funny story of when I was in first grade and I had a tooth loose. And I told my first grade teacher my tooth was loose. And the first thing she did was take a paper towel, shove it in my mouth, and rip it out herself.
My
parents did that to me all the time.
Yeah. Well, like parents are different. My first grade teacher who just did that.
I respect that.
Ripped it out of my mouth.
Holy I respect it. Wait, was it like loose or was it like?
It was just
hurt.
Nuts. No, it didn't it was loose. And
I remember one time I was playing PlayStation. I moved my tongue, my tooth came out. So and it was out. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Having a loose tooth used to be cool. I just like the feeling of it. That makes sense.
I remember a kid in elementary school. I think it was his, what are these called? Not your dog teeth, canine teeth? Yeah. Canine. The canine tooth was loose and it was hanging by a thread that it started pulling the gum down. So he would show everybody in the class, he'd go, hey, and go like that. And you just see this tooth just hanging out of his mouth.
Why didn't he just fuck it?
I mean,
your tooth ever come out when you guys are eating something? Happened to me too. Like once, and like I'm like, oh shit, I might have swallowed one by accident once.
No, I don't think so.
My tooth chipped literally as early as freshman year of college. My tooth chipped.
Chipped?
Like I had a hole in the middle of my.
Yeah, because that was from the cavity, probably, right?
Yeah, it was a cavity that was filled, and the thing popped out, and so I had a hole in my tooth for the rest of that freshman year of college because I wasn't going to the dentist to get that filled until literally the end of the summer. I got that filled again. Like I
Morano, teeth guy.
Anything involving teeth, like any like worst case scenario, I've had the toothaches. I've had awful toothaches. It's quite a story.
I remember when my wisdom teeth were coming in, my jaw cracked for months. Like every time I was eating, every bite I took, you just hear like a little popping noise. Or at least I felt a little pop come out of the sides of like right here on your neck. Oh, it hurt so bad when my wisdom teeth were coming in. That happened maybe senior year of high school, right before college, maybe. It was awful. Awful.
Yeah, I love a good tooth story because I could share a lot of them. I could share so much, and I was so scared to like go to the dentist again this year, but I had to because I haven't gone and get anything done. So I have to, and then he told me I have to get a root canal sometime in the future, but it's not urgent right now. So
what is a root canal exactly?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Isn't it like your gum under the tooth is infected? Isn't that what it's for?
You're removing the soft center of your tooth, the pulp. So it's something with your tooth.
I don't know. I was told I needed a root canal when I was 14, and then I never got one. And then the last time I was there, he's like, "Yeah, you need one, but it's not urgent, so you can always get in the future." So again, a later date. I'm like, dude, it's I don't even care. My favorite activity to do with the dentist is when the dental hygienists come in, they're so nice and they talk to you and they say, "Oh, we're just gonna get an X-ray of this tooth real quick for you." They X-ray your teeth, they leave, they come back in a completely different mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
They come in I swear to God, they come in a worse mood. And they sit there, they're not talking. And every time I do that, I go, I know they're bad. And they went, "Oh, you do? Oh, okay, good." I'm like, dude, I know.
Yeah. I've been here.
Or the
I'm a
dentist may
witness.
crack a joke and be like, "So, yep, got a lot of work done, I see." I'm like, "Dude, I know." So that was great, but yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, dentists are. The fact that I wasn't able to get braces, I think this is God saying, "Well, you didn't get braces, so you're gonna have every problem with teeth ever."
I still love reading the magazines in the dentist's office. Love reading them.
Yeah, nothing hits better than SI Kids.
That's facts. No, SI Kids like a real.
SI Kids used to hit though.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever read those.
You ever had those in your daughter's office?
I said no, I don't think so.
No, they used to have that shit.
I would flip.
It'd be the only one I would read because
Illustrated.
everything else would be useless for the parents.
No, because my doctor's office when I was a kid, there was just like a waiting area with like a fish tank and the fucking, you know, the things where you just push the blocks along the wire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, we have
yeah.
those. Yeah, we have those.
They
too.
had that, so I would just.
It's
sit
funny
by the
too
fish
because
tank and watch it.
Nothing's weirder than like growing up because you still have to go to a pediatrician obviously until you're like our age, but it's just like when you're like 18 sitting in the doctor's office with a bunch of babies are there and shit. You're like,
and then when you get do your doctor's offices make you bring up the cup of piss to the nurse's table?
No, you put it in the cabinet in the bathroom.
Nope, that's not what my pediatrician does.
Wait a minute, what?
Nope.
There's a thing in the bathroom you put it in. It's like so it keeps it like sterile or some shit.
Nope.
And you leave it there and they grab it. No, what do you mean no?
I wish that was the case.
You gotta walk around the doctor's office with piss in your hands?
Correct.
So to be fair, I've had a couple of times that like I've had to bring it home because I would pee in the morning like a dumbass, and you're not supposed to do that. You know, you're supposed to be your first piss of the day. And
yeah.
Like during the morning, sometimes you just wake up at the piss, so you have to like bring it home, and then you gotta drive there with the piss in your hand. That's really
I got drug tested a couple of years ago, probably 2 years ago. I got drug tested for an internship, and I was so scared that I wasn't gonna be able to piss. So I pissed that morning, and then I drank a shitload of water beforehand, and I couldn't move because I had to piss so bad. And then they finally called me up, and then like they take so many like extremes like in the bathroom, like they put like these blue tabs in the toilet so you don't they make sure like you
don't touch it. Yeah.
You don't touch anything. And then I pissed in it, but it said only fill it up to a certain line. They didn't say like, they just said only to this line. So I did it. I came back, and then I went, can I go back in? Like and then they're like, why? And I have to explain to them in public, like other people walking around. I'm like, I have to just go. It was only a certain line. Like
why didn't you just keep pissing into the toilet?
Because they would have known I would have fucked with it. They put those blue tabs in the toilet so the whole water turns blue, so they know if you did anything.
Yeah.
In it or not.
I've seen that before.
Okay.
So
you're not supposed to piss in the toilet?
No, in the cup, and that's it. And it's only up to a certain line.
Yeah.
Bro, TV's lied to me. Like, you just do whatever.
So they made a big deal about me going back. Like they had someone like wait outside the door, and like they said like you have to be quick, and like it was a whole big thing because I peed like fucking a third of the cup.
But in my doctor's office, there's no bathrooms in the patient rooms. So at the end of after you meet with the nurse and the doctor, they check your blood pressure, they do everything. They go, all right, here's the cup for whenever you're ready. Bathrooms down the hall to your left.
Yeah, that's the same for me, but we put it in the cabinet.
There's no cabinets in these bathrooms. It's a toilet, a sink, and a mirror, and that's it. So you go in, you do your business, you piss in the cup, then you awkwardly walk out back into the hallway with a cup of hot piss in your hand, and you walk up to the nurse's table, and you're just like, hey, you just raise it up. Slide up there. Want a drink?
Mountain Dew.
It's mellow yellow. I got a cup of mellow yellow.
A cup of ginger ale just for you. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
And then you also, because they want to know like you actually handed the piss to them. So you gotta wait until they acknowledge you with the piss in your hand.
You gotta take a flick with the piss in your hand. Like.
So I just point to it on the table and I go, have a good one. And they go, okay. And they take it. Cup of hot piss.
I don't have good experiences with the doctors in general, like dentists, doctors, any person that wears that white suit.
Lab coat?
The lab
suit? A suit?
Suit, lab coat. What do you want to call it? They don't like me.
The medical profession does not like Mike.
No, the medical profession.
Speaking of pissing and stuff, I'll give it to Mike. He's very good at filling up soda bottles with piss. he would look at me like, I bet I can fill this shit up with piss right now. Like he go around the corner and come back like, like, okay.
I remember when I after I had my appendix taken out and I had to go to the doctor for like a checkup, the surgeon, make sure like the stitches, because the stitches were just supposed to dissolve and like the bandages were just supposed to like, they were supposed to pull them out and make sure nothing's infected. Here's how they checked my scars in my stomach. They stood in the doorway and just like kind of stood up on their tippy toes and went, yeah, you're good. You're good. And then just left.
like retail people when the alarm goes off.
They literally just went, you're fine. You're good. And then they just moved on to other patients. And then guess what? My belly button got infected because they didn't.
Yeah, that's the most AJ Batista fucking thing of all time. My belly button
they didn't check anything properly. It was
what are you doing to your belly button?
It was the stitches, like because they didn't like
was that close?
And the bandages because they didn't take them out properly. They were in there for too long and it got infected. The Zoom's about to wrap up.
We got the rough draft next coming up.
Got the rough draft.
Right after this ad by Honey. No.
Babel.
BlueChew.com. Use NordVPN.
Federalist.
The Federalist, yeah. This podcast is sponsored by the Federalist.
DraftKings up to $100 in risk-free bet.
Don't say that.
Use code PISS. All right. So moving on from dentist, doctor's office, and piss, we got the rough draft coming up. Top 3 Raw after Mania moments. So at the time of this recording, we're about 3 hours and 8 minutes away from the first night of WrestleMania 37?
38.
38.
He doesn't do anything, man. Oh my God. So embarrassing.
Well, okay. Can we start with this first before we
Yes.
go? So this is gonna come out afterwards, but right now I just want to ask you guys, what is like if there was one thing you wanted to happen in both these nights, in both nights, if one thing happened in it that you would be content with this Mania, what is it?
You know what's funny actually? I don't think anyone would. I would say this a year ago. Brock winning, that would be cool. I don't know how cool it would be, but Brock winning would be like a surprise.
A Paul Heyman swerve again.
They can't do that for the 3rd time this year, though.
Yeah, they can.
Could they? I don't know. I'm just saying Brock winning would be cool. That's really this like you're right, Mike. This card does suck. The more I looked at it, I thought they would add to it, and the way they added,
It's not great.
It's fucking awful.
It's not.
Yeah, when they added to it, they did not add what I thought they would. So you were right.
Dude, how do you go into a WrestleMania 2 nights and you don't have a United States title match or an Intercontinental title match?
Now, to be fair, I rewatched WrestleManias 21, 22, 23, and 24 this past week because just because those titles actually are defended on that show a whole lot. Like maybe like 2 hours.
Benoit and JBL in 22, right? They had the United States.
Yeah,
title.
is that? But a lot of the time they were in, like the Money in the Bank match. The Intercontinental. Shelton Benjamin was like the
Was it Benoit MVP for the U.S. title at
23?
23. IC title wasn't defended.
Whenever Shelton Benjamin had it, he never defended WrestleMania. So
And then 24 wasn't
the
the IC title wasn't defended either because
no
Jericho had
Jericho
was
was the champ because he beat Hardy, who was supposed to be.
And he was in the Money in the Bank.
Have some type of tables or
MVP was also in that match, so he was a U.S. champ. Also, fucking great part. He's about to win the match, and Matt Hardy comes out of nowhere just to twist the fade off the ladder. Matt Hardy's whole purpose in Money in the Bank matches was to kill someone. Like when Hardy just kills Jeff. No, he could have won the match. He just killed Edge.
Wait, is that one time in 22 where Hardy kills Ric Flair? When he does
with the suplex
off the ladder,
and Ric Flair the Money in the Bank.
Flair has the most delayed reaction of all time. They do a suplex off the ladder and he goes, ha!
They drag Flair out on a stretcher after that.
Yeah,
they did that for like 3 straight shows. Edge got dragging out, and then maybe Shelton, there was one. Shelton did a whole backflip into the ladder.
And also, listen, Shelton Benjamin made an appearance on SmackDown yesterday. I mean, that boy's still putting in work.
The Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I love Shelton, man. I will always love
Shelton. Hurt business. I don't know why they decided to bring it up and then give Lashley the title.
What is one thing you want in the next in these 2 days? Just one thing that would make you content with Mania.
I don't know.
For me, it's Cody. It's Cody.
So I guess it would have to be. I don't know.
It has to be at this point.
It would have to be Cody. But again, I could see Cody being the Raw after Mania moment.
No, you can't.
I could see it. I could see it.
No, I don't think that he would want it. Like, what? I just feel like
no. I don't think you hype up Seth
Seth to face Shane
and
McMahon.
also like, wouldn't you want? I mean, this is a huge. This isn't just a random AEW acquisition. Like this isn't like
the AEW.
This isn't Joey Janela. You know, this isn't the dinosaur dude. You know,
Vince would love the dinosaur guy.
I'm telling you, like this is one of the dudes that made AEW. He can't show up on Raw.
Not even even on top of that, when he first left WWE, AEW was still 3 years away from even being.
Yeah, he's the
thing.
No, I don't care how shitty the character is. I think it's more of just like the symbol of it that like. This like can happen. This is able to happen.
One of the remember the whole.
And I think it's pretty cool that it can happen too.
I do think
because all we've seen is all these. People are leaving. They're not leaving WWE. They're all getting fired or released. I should say. AEW. But like at least now, like we know there's gonna be like a competition going forward.
But here's the thing:
people jumping aside.
I do think there's gonna be a tease where we think it's gonna be somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely.
I like Elias, like you said, Pat.
Like Elias did a Mania, yeah. Elias could be the fucking tease. He hasn't been on TV.
Imagine he comes back. Yeah, where's Elias been?
I think this is what's going to happen. I think the lights, when Rollins is going to come out, he can do this whole shout out of who it's going to be or whatever. The lights are going to go out and everyone's going to think it's Undertaker. And then like American Nightmare is going to show up like on the Jumbotron or something. Then it's going to be corny as hell. And that's fine. Cody's a corny wrestler.
Yeah, very.
His gimmick isn't that great.
He's gonna come out with a tear in his eye.
I want if Cody shows up, I do not care what happens the rest of the time. And I also want Shinsuke and Rick Boogs to win the titles. That's not
gonna happen, but that'd be cool. Bianca and Becky. That's gonna be a great match no matter what.
But honestly, I'm looking.
And if Ronda and Charlotte Flair just can they both get COVID and have to cancel the match, I won't be mad with that either.
Yeah, I won't be mad at that.
No offense to you. I hope they don't get COVID, but that match is not matter.
I'm looking forward to Pat McAfee's match. I love Pat McAfee so much. I think he's going to do a great job. I think it's going to be so much fun.
That might, honest to God, when we next week when we talk about the top match of the show, that's going to be a top 3 match.
I think so too.
He's going to lose though, 100%.
No, 100% he's going to lose, but
I'm so
he'll look good. He'll look good doing it.
And the more that we talk about it, like I'm also excited for the Logan Paul match, dude. Like that's fucking.
I could give less of a fuck about that.
Yeah,
it's a good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not Logan Paul though. It's more like cool, Rey Mysterio. We get it. I like Rey Mysterio.
I think that's cool, man. Like I don't know.
I'm indifferent to it. I think I'm excited for even like to see what Pat McAfee's entrance is going to be. I think he's going to have a really great. Over the top, probably come out in like a FanDuel Ric Flair robe. I think it's going to be great. I can't even wait for his entrance.
And then the Stone Cold match is just going to be a quick stunner. That's it.
I think it might be it won't be a match, but I think it'll be a fight because it's supposed to close the show. They're not going to close the show with Stone Cold just stunning Owens and that's it. There's no way.
You know what? I'm actually glad he's not coming back in an official match capacity. Because I've respected, I love that, for the longest time, at least for 8 years, Shawn Michaels actually stayed retired. And then we saw what happened at that Blood Money show, the Saudi Arabia show.
Was that Saudi Arabia or was that
that was Saudi?
That was horrible.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
As soon as Shawn shaved his head, he should never step back in a fucking ring.
So I like that Stone Cold's not coming back in an official match. So you can say he didn't have a come out of retirement match. And if it is just kind of like a brawl thing that ends in a stunner, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, also, really 20 years is
19.
Yeah, it's 19. Yeah, exactly. 19 years you stayed retired. Come on, man.
It's so funny too because I love Stone Cold. I think his promos are great. It's so funny that all it had to do was some fat dude being like, I'm not that big a fan of Texas, and this dude rolls out in a fucking monster truck and goes,
he was like, "What?
And you stop."
Texas.
When you insult the great state of Texas, that's when I'm gonna come out and whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? He goes for 19 years, I've been sitting on my damn ass interviewing Post Malone on my podcast. So when I hear you insult when you insult my best friend Post Malone, I'm gonna come out there and whoop your fat ass.
What?
Post Malone's also from Texas. What's it called? It's funny too because I like how every time Stone Cold comes at WrestleMania, they act like he hasn't been there 20 years. After he retired, he was at WrestleMania for 4 straight years, and he took a little bit of a break. When was he? He was at you know, he was there during the Battle of the Billionaires. He was there
special
in
guest
the
referee?
Hollywood one, especially he was there in the Hollywood one when he was Roddy Piper.
Dude was the special guest referee for Brock Lesnar and Goldberg and the Battle of the Billionaires.
Yeah. They were just using him as a fucking just so he can, whenever something was stupid, they can just stun them at the end.
Yeah.
You know, he came back at 30. I think he wasn't there for a while before that. Or he might have just been backstage. You know, like The Rock, who's dipped for 10 years. You know what I mean?
You're gonna come out with a stupid head shake and be like, talking about the great state of Texas.
That's D'Lo, bro. That's a D'Lo entrance. Doing the fucking.
I did after I got out of work at 3:00. I did stop at a beer store and pick up some of his
What?
IPA. I did. I'm very excited. My first time drinking it.
If you start drinking IPAs on a regular basis, I have to cancel you. I'm sorry.
I have yet to try an IPA.
Because you know that's a trait of a certain someone, though. You know, and I don't wish to fall to that trait.
I have yet to try an IPA I actually like, but I'm very excited for Stone Cold.
You can't drink it. You gotta sip it. You gotta like.
Stone Cold is also coming out the same thing, like the El Segundo, whatever, is coming out with an American lager. I'm very excited about.
I was sitting in my podcast studio interviewing Tom Holland, and this SOB is talking about Dallas, Texas.
The more he talks, the less he sounds like Stone Cold.
It sounds like
I know it. I want to say what it sounds like, but it's going to sound fucked up, so I don't want to say
I'll have you know, Post Malone made White Iverson.
What? Congratulations. What? Circles. What?
You insult my other fat friend, Post Malone.
What?
Who sits inside all day and plays Apex Legends.
But you know he also loves beer.
He likes beer. He's my friend. We're both from Texas. It's just like the thought of Stone Cold is so funny to me because he literally just speaks like he's gasping for air and then just likes Texas.
Yeah.
That's it, you know?
Back in like 99 Raw, whatever. This would happen every week. It was the show would start out with Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon in the ring or some shit. And as soon as Vince would say anything, the crowd would be like, chant asshole. And he'd be like, you hear that? That's 20,000 people saying you're an asshole. Every week, every episode of Raw was the exact same. I was like, there's no way. And then like the next year, you know what happened? Like, I think this is when Dion broke his neck. It was when Triple H was basically the top one. Triple H would come out for 20 minutes. You know that promo of The Rock is like, I'm the game.
Yeah.
That was he was not lying. That was every Raw opening segment for like the whole year 2000. Triple H was come out with Steph and just say the exact same thing every week, and then like either The Rock or like Jericho would interrupt.
2001, he'd come out and be like, "I would never put my hands on a woman. Don't ask me about Deborah." What?
I do like The Rock's promo, like when he became the Hollywood Rock, and the one in Toronto where it's like, "Yay, he said Toronto."
Oh, shut up. I think The Rock deserved like a 2-year run. It was so funny.
Dude, The Rock was a menace. I mean, you couldn't say anything to him without he would come back and just zing you. You couldn't say anything to him.
You know what's funny? I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day. I think I had like a joke plan for it, not for like just in my head. Like back in like 2002, The Rock was 6'5", 275 already. I want to know how much he weighs now because he's like double the size he was then.
He's got to be 325.
It's crazy, really think about it because they're gonna introduce WrestleMania next year. Man, wearing it at 255 pounds. Like, no, he's not. Look at that motherfucker.
All right, you guys want to get into the rough draft?
One last Stone Cold joke.
Okay.
To get amped up for tonight's WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, I was listening to White Iverson, where me and Post Malone shared something in common. When I started balding, I was young. No, I think he's saying bald. What? Post, he's saying balling. What? No, seriously, what? Well, Stone Cold, I don't think you should go out there. You're like literally one trip off the stairs away from being permanently paralyzed.
He'd be like, "Oh hell, I thought that sumbitch said balding."
So can I come out my monster truck
Stone
now?
Cold.
Right, Stone Cold, can you just walk down? I gotta take the monster truck.
Why?
I gotta run over a bunch of people on it.
Posty, Grab the ATV. Stop a mud hole.
It was
I don't even know what's going on. I don't know.
Was Post Malone really the Stone Cold podcast? Did you make that up? Was that actually happen?
What?
Was Post Malone the Stone Cold's podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When was this? Recently?
Like 2017.
Oh, I'm about to say. Where's Stone Cold? Oh,
Stupid that I think he would say, you know.
I don't think he does the podcast.
I'm looking at this Mania card, and I'm seeing Logan Paul looking at dead people in Japan.
No, they just drop episodes, like old episodes. It's
okay.
SAS Classic right now. All
I
right.
saw the ball, then I was young. Okay, I'll start off real quick. I think the first Raw after Mania for me personally. So when I think of Raw after Mania, I'm not thinking of like really surreal moments. I'm thinking of moments that one, get the crowd really hyped, and two, like just moments that I kind of just go back and watch, like for myself for some reason. So one that I always go back and watch is Goldberg's debut in 2000.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Because I like when Rock is just talking and then like you get that pan up of
he's like oh!
Yeah.
Rock sells it completely. Goldberg's run sucked ass in 2003, but I still think like it was
the debut was great.
The debut was perfect, yeah.
Or he was like, "You're next," and then spears him.
Shit out of him. Bret Hart does not agree with that though.
Yeah, Bret Hart can't stand him. Well, Bret Hart, it's funny because Bret Hart, you can kind of spin into the same Stone Cold accent, but you have to really gasp for air. You know, it's like, "Damn Goldberg." You know, like I feel like it's more like a.
I'm the best I ever was.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the southern accent.
And I know
he's Canadian, Mike.
Southern accent right now, but like Goldberg, I mean not Goldberg. Bret Hart kind of has that same like voice where it's like
he's
raspy.
Sounds like he's out of breath. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bret Hart. That dude's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your guys?
Brett screwed Brett. Yeah, we can go one at a time here. I think because we're probably gonna have like similar ones.
Yeah.
I can go with the obvious one. I think we're saying so. I'm gonna go with one outside the box here. 2015, after Seth cashed in at WrestleMania, him and Brock supposed to have a match on Raw, and Brock just Seth said I'm hurt or whatever, and then like dipped, and Brock just destroyed everybody at ringside. I don't know if you remember this. And I think it's the funniest thing ever because I want to say it's the same that he takes the announce table and he throws it, and all you hear is Booker T go, "Oh!" and then he F5s Michael Cole, and he's about to F5 a cameraman, and Stephanie goes, "You're gonna be fired if you do this." He doesn't anyway. And
you're right.
Walk out. Yeah, but I remember that because that was like at that point I wasn't watching wrestling anymore, but I watched that Raw. I remember that vividly happening. I thought it was the most funny thing ever. That he just beat the shit out of everyone. I always go back and watch this. Oh! Booker T saying shit rock. And then they get like a whole new announce crew after. Like Cole's dead. They got like 3 new dudes. I think Jerry might be fun, but they got like 2 other people to come and commentate the rest of the show.
So I actually also had Goldberg debuts after Mania 19 on my list. But I'm gonna go with an obvious one. Dolph Ziggler cashing in and winning the World Heavyweight title, big gold belt.
Yeah,
what was that? Was that 2012? 2012. I was gonna say 2013, but 2012. Actually, that was so much. It might have been 2013.
Whichever one he was with, AJ Lee and Big E.
Yeah, it was so 2013.
Del Rio had it. Yeah, Del Rio had the title. 2012 Edge was the world title. Is that his last match?
No, that was 2011. So
2012 was in Miami. No, 2012 was a Sheamus one. So
2012 was Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. So it was 2013. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just because that was when 2013. I was 14. That was when like Dolph Ziggler was at the peak of like. I don't know if I don't want to call it prime, but
popularity though.
The peak of like fan interest and like this is the fucking guy. He needs the world title. We'll fight WWE if you don't give him the world title. That's when he was at like that moment. How like Big E had that moment and Bobby Lashley had that moment. That was when Dolph Ziggler was at that moment. So when he came in and cashed in on Alberto Del Rio and you heard his theme song play, just a fucking great moment. Fantastic moment.
I think another one that's probably not that memorable. Actually, okay, I'll say the one for the last one. I think this one's the next one that's really good too. And I think WWE really missed kind of the point here. Not that they missed out on it, but I think they missed out on a really good opportunity here. So this is after Roman beat Undertaker at 33, and he comes out the next day, and people are booing him. They're not giving him a chance speak, and he just says, "This is my yard," and then drops the mic and leaves. I think that could have been like heel Roman right then and there.
Yeah, that should have been the start of what he's doing.
That should have been the start of heel Roman.
Yeah.
Or like he could have been like, "I don't give a shit about your yard," or something crazy like that, where it's just like it's a good moment, and that could have been like a really good point to like Roman being like the heel after that, and then that would have piqued the interest, because I couldn't stand Roman at that point either. I mean, this is 2017. This is like peak interest for me.
Yeah.
So I think that was a really underrated.
They ended up fixing it though.
They fixed it. They fixed it big time.
My second one was the Dolph. My other one was it? Oh yeah, my Dolph Ziggler was one of mine as well. I'll go with once again Brock Lesnar coming back in 2012.
Yep, me too.
Because just like just simply because it's like, oh cool, we just saw Cena and Rock at Mania, which somebody, and Rock's gone for until like Raw 1000, whatever that was, 3 months later, and then it's kind of 8 years. You didn't see Brock legitimately in 8 years because he left at Mania.
Him at all. Do you know what I think is an unpopular opinion that I may have, that I think about Lesnar returning? I think it was a good call for him to lose the first match he came back to in Extreme Rules.
I think the only reason they did that is just so you're not fucking like running shit around.
Well, not even that, because I know Cena was on like, it was a Cena like type of storyline too about him losing a shitload. I don't know. I think it was cool to have Lesnar lose his first match back, and like the way that he did. I don't know. I thought that was really cool.
I think that was like, it's like almost 10 years to the day that happened. Like it's around April 2nd.
Yeah, it's around this time. I think I saw something on Reddit. It was like around all like the things, all the WrestleMania things are right now too. So.
I mean, that was one.
It was a cool moment. It's like think about. I don't think I watched that one.
Nobody saw that coming. Not that I remember.
Yeah, it was at the end of the show, right? Yeah. So that's even cooler. They did it.
Nobody saw that coming. That one was fun. Yeah. No, because I had Goldberg debuts after Mania 19 and Brock returning. So I had the ones I had were already named.
It was a rough draft. You could think on the spot.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy coming back in 2018. That was fun.
I remember that. That was cool.
From injury. What?
No. When it was Seth and Finn versus
with Finn Balor.
That was fun. Jeff Hardy coming back.
Joe also came back, not that night. I remember the year after, actually.
Yeah.
When was it? No, it couldn't have been the year. Wait, but it was it was the year after, because it was when Roman came back from Latina. So
I'm telling you, Jeff Hardy returned after to beat Jinder for the U.S. title.
He didn't return though. He was just there. That was like
he made a return from like injury or something.
He came back from an injury. Yeah.
Was he when he won that? I thought he was just on the Raw.
Because he wasn't on the card for Mania, and he was signed within that year. So I'm assuming he'd be on that.
Oh yeah. Because I remember
Matt Hardy was on that card.
Yeah, because he won the Battle Royal that
year. Yeah.
So Jeff was hurt. Yeah. So Jeff.
It was in New Orleans. Yeah. That was fun.
What I think for my third, and it's not a really popular one, I just like it because I think the pop is really good, and I think the people that kind of introduced him is really good was Enzo and Cass debuting.
Oh yeah, I couldn't think of what's it called.
I forgot that was after Raw. Yeah,
I couldn't think of a good debut. I don't think that was on Raw. Nakamura debuted.
Umaga debuted Raw after Mania. Just popped in my head.
He's Umaga, dude.
Umanga.
Topanga. Yeah, so that's I really liked Enzo and Big Cass. I love them as a tag team.
Remember their little one-off in Ring of Honor? It went so poorly that they just didn't.
I don't know what it was such a good, like, it was such a crazy thing. Like, they came back and then that was it. I don't know if like no one, I don't think if anyone liked it, so they didn't pursue it, or it was just a one-off.
I think it was because it was just so poorly received.
Well, because Enzo was in a lot of
bring him back.
Enzo was in a lot of shit. He didn't wait to kind of air out everything and try to like settle everything that he had to settle, because now he does appearances all the time for shit and like no one really cares anymore.
Sure, because that whole situation got resolved.
Him and Cass just wrestled the Hardy Boys over like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, at an indie show. Yeah.
Like Enzo does shows. Like I think he wrestled like Brian Pillman. What is Brian Pillman's son's name?
Brian Pillman Jr.
That's what it is. Yeah, he wrestled like Brian Pillman Jr. within the past couple of years. Like,
and Cass is in Impact. W Morrissey, or right? W Morrissey,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's an Impact.
What's it called? Brock Lesnar also debuted after WrestleMania.
He did. Beat the shit out of Spike Dudley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just looked it up. Yeah. Also, Paige winning the Divas title in her first match.
That was cool. Great in 2014.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. That was fun.
Do you know what one WrestleMania match that I always forget happened and it did kind of nothing for anybody?
What?
It was Fandango beating Jericho.
Yeah,
it was supposed to push Fandango.
Actually,
Can't
speaking
get
of
pushed with
that,
a stupid ass name like that.
the night after that Raw after Mania was like
That was
one of
like
the
that's
crazy-
it. It was in Barclays, right? Or was it?
yeah,
It might
that
have
was
been
one
in
of the
Jersey.
craziest Raws in history
Yeah.
because everything that happened, like if you were supposed to cheer, all the fans booed. You were supposed to boo
Bizarro
them.
World, Nagel.
But and Fandango, I mean, that was where Fandangoing came from that night, where everybody in the crowd was doing it. You saw people on the subway doing it after the show. Like that was just an insane night, insane Raw. That ushered in. I think that was the first year where like it became known the Raw after Mania, like the crowd's gonna hijack the show. That was the first year of that.
Especially when that's because I feel like that's when not when they started making a weekend out of it, but like they did it so like a lot of people are going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Raw nowadays, not many people are there. But if you're going to run a stadium show, there's going to be the SmackDown and Raw are going to be sold out.
Exactly.
Like apparently last night's crowd was like the highest selling, what's it called, non-pay-per-view crowd in America for a while.
Wow.
COVID and shit. And then even like on NXT, the crowd sucked. It wasn't that good in NXT, in my opinion. It's like you know how takeover crowds used to be like the best crowds ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't really that good when I was watching, but it was packed from what I saw.
Okay.
So,
like WWE has always done a thing where like the Raw after Mania either has somebody return or debut or come back from injury or whatever, or start the storylines either to SummerSlam or just kind of the main storylines for the next year. But that 2013 Raw after Mania was the first year where, like, at least from what I remember, the crowd is
that
hijacking the show.
Is that when Mark Henry did the fake retirement speech?
No, that was 2013, but I don't think that was the same night.
Oh, okay. That's making sure. I know Cena was the champ. I don't know because I thought that was his first thing after.
I don't think that was the same night. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong.
It might have been like in the coming weeks after, but
definitely was the first year where like the crowds, hijacked, to use that word again, the show.
Okay, no, it wasn't that because it was Cena versus Ryback was the match at the next pay-per-view.
It was 2013 though, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like the last time Cena would wait.
That's still one of the
Mark Henry went to fight him that night after WrestleMania, but it wasn't a fake retirement thing. I think.
Looking back on it, that's one of the most fun things I've ever watched because I bought that like everybody else retirement speech, hook, line, and sinker. I was completely bought in
at that point. But I fucking watched it about 1 million times afterwards. But
okay, yeah. The retirement one was in June. Yeah.
I'm looking at the card here. Night one doesn't look great. There's probably about 3 matches that kind of intrigue me. I'm really glad Seth Rollins is today because I don't think
they needed to have that today. I don't think other than like Bianca and Becky, it's like good.
Yeah, I think Ronda wins the title too.
I mean, if she doesn't, I don't know what the fuck she's doing here.
I don't know.
Also, I don't think she likes wrestling. I honestly don't think she likes it. I think she's getting paid more to do this and be safe than go into UFC and lose and get embarrassed.
I think before she did this, I think she thinks that she was going to be really well received.
She was, and then I think she was, but then she just beat everybody. And people, and especially when you go, when Becky and Sasha were there, and they're like, they're always going to cheer Becky and Sasha over anybody. So when that happens, it's as simple as, okay, look at Charlotte. Like in reality, I mean, I don't think Charlotte's like the best or anything, but she's still good. But she's never really get cheered over Becky or Sasha. You know what I mean? So there's always Alexa too. Same thing.
Night 2 probably has 5 matches that I'm pretty interested in. I'm really glad that Chad Gable gets in a Mania match. I love Chad Gable. I think they've done a great job with him. I didn't like him and Otis together at first. I thought it was kind of weird, but it's turned into something.
It's one of those things that worked on accident.
Anything that Chad Gable has done has worked on accident. Like him and Bobby Roode were good with each other.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? I don't think it's on accident. I think he just works hard enough to make that shit work.
No, I mean, like I think like WWE just puts people together. When they put them together. I'm not saying it's on accident. He definitely tries, but like WWE didn't have a real plan for them.
Like the Shorty G phase was like
I forgot about that.
It wasn't awful.
Yeah, I was playing the game the other day, and they called him Shorty G. I was like, the fuck, I forgot about that shit even existed.
Yeah, they called him Shorty.
I forgot about that too.
And like listen, for as bad as it was, he was on SmackDown every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about? Like me and Mike were talking about.
He makes it work. Good for him.
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah,
he just dresses as a ninja, but he's on TV every week, so it's okay.
It doesn't make sense.
He's on every show, maybe twice a night.
Because they have to.
Apollo Crews is doing what?
Apollo Crews like one last.
Who's gotten 2 pushes in the last 2 years, and now he's not doing anything. It's really weird.
Yeah,
from it. Because he won the IC title last year.
At Mania, yeah. And then he won the US title at Mania, not Mania, like the pay-per-view after Mania the year before.
It didn't make sense to me, but I guess they had nothing. I mean, I was never really a big fan of Cruz anyway.
I liked him when he was on the Indies as Uha Nation. I thought it was great.
I think the Nigerian royalty thing was just like a little bit.
That was weird.
He's still doing it. I just think it's weird. It's like you can't have someone talking like this and then like having it told like these or some after a while. It's just weird when they just give people accents out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They did it with fucking Zelina Vega right now. She talks like a fucking British person. It's stupid as fuck.
I'm surprised Zelina came back because she was pretty pissed about not being able to like profit off
on
like
Twitch.
Yeah.
They must have offered her. I think Vince really likes her apparently. That's probably what it was at the end of that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see I think you sent it in the group chat of Pat McAfee, the video that Vince McMahon sent him at 3
I don't know what fucking workout thing that was. I asked my friends to go to the gym. They had no idea what it was, but I was like, yeah, it's
I've never seen that before in my entire life. It's not. He's deadlifting, but he's not in like the proper deadlift form, and it doesn't look like a normal bench press where you could deadlift, like a normal bar. I have no idea what that was. And what did he call it? A land shark?
Yeah.
I had no idea what that was.
I've never seen that in my life.
I've never seen that before in my entire life. No.
That was interesting. But again, Vince, he could lift, man.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts for 76-year-old man.
He's at 3 a.m. He's a fucking psycho.
At 3 a.m. to deadlift 1,000 pounds.
It's wild.
I mean, it's so wild that Vince McMahon's mom died like a month ago.
Yeah, that motherfucker's not leaving us anytime soon.
His trainer should write a book of what it's like working with Vince McMahon. To go train a dude.
He probably pounds those like Bang energy drinks every day too.
I know. I wonder if like Vince drinks coffee. How do you think he just keeps going?
I just think some people are naturally wired like that. If you're like driven, like if you are really driven about something and very passionate about something so much, and you
keep going.
I think like himself, I think he just doesn't mind it. You know, I just think dude, what has that dude ever taken a day off? Like, does he just sit down and watch Gilmore Girls one day? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, have you been watching Gilmore Girls?
Hang out.
No, it's just, I made a joke about, it was a joke that popped in my head before the podcast and I just kind of rolled with it. I got to squeeze out the jokes that I got to have. So, like, I really don't know like what Vince has done. Like if he ever had like a free time to do anything.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
I feel like Vince McMahon's big into Ozark.
Hey,
see, part 2 coming in the month.
Ozark is a very good show. Good show. Have you guys watched Yellowstone?
No.
Oh,
I don't feel like watching a bunch of rednecks.
No, it's The Sopranos. It's the Montana version of The Sopranos.
Yeah. See, you lost me in Montana.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Kevin Costner rules. He's so good. John Dutton.
Sorry if I wasn't yawning at you. I'm just tired.
Kevin Costner. He's so good. His movies are good. He's a good actor. He's good.
You're losing me.
Yellowstone's fantastic. One of the best shows I've ever watched.
No.
Yeah, you also said that the Many Saints in Newark was the best movie you ever saw out of theaters. So
that is not true. That is.
You get a TikTok I tagged you in today?
I did not yet. No.
So yeah, you take a look. I check TikTok every 15 minutes, but
I'm bad with the replies on TikTok.
There was a dude that like had a tattoo of like all the famous Italian movies and moments like in on his leg, and I tagged him like, where's the scene where Tony kills Christopher? I have been harassing Italian TikTok.
Oh, it's been so much fun.
Mike's been harassing my DMs with certain type of people. I'm not gonna say it, but it's been very
but
they're not. It's wild.
I have been commenting on so many Italian TikTok creators and being like, Tony kills Christopher. It's fine. And like, again, who cares? There's this one dude that always deletes my comment. I always comment it, and he always deletes my comment. And
is it the guy with the nickname, with the username The Godfather, with the 0 as the O? That guy.
Yeah, I blocked him already. I blocked him because I was scrolling through and he kept going on my live going like and share. And then you ask him about his backstory and he says he doesn't speak Italian. He speaks a little bit of Spanish. He's from Chicago. I'm like, what? Nothing's adding up here, dude.
Yeah.
And I would always comment and say that Joe Pesci's a shitty actor. He sold out for Home Alone. He sold out for a Home Alone bag. Tony kills Christopher in The Sopranos. Like that's just the fact. Just the best. This is the best things to spoil with people. So I do that, and I get a lot of shit for it. But it's pretty fun.
Every Friday night I've told you guys about this, at the Italian restaurant next door to the gym, they got DJ Vinny Dice and Tony Sausage, but now they have a whole crew of last night. They have a whole crew of guys in tracksuits with them. One guy's name is Timmy Old School. And the reason I know all this is because their TikToks pop up on my like the For You page because I'm so close to the restaurant. Then this one guy, his name's Robert. He stole Big Time Tommy's whole shtick, the catchphrase, the sayings, everything.
Hey, AJ, I'll be very real with you. There were like 40 guys I could think of on the top of my head that act, look, and say the same shit that douche does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's not anything creative.
But Big Time Tommy stole his whole shit, his whole thing.
There is no.
I found Timmy Old School. This guy is.
If you at any point have the name Old School in your name, you are stealing someone's shtick. You are. I mean, the growing up Italian page on Instagram is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, like I could go down the list. I mean, I'm not gonna count, but I'll just quickly scroll through the amount of people I have blocked on Twitter, on TikTok. It's an insane amount of people because I interact with these people too much.
Yeah. Well,
and it makes I feel the need to comment, and then the more of it shows up, and I go crazy. They're winning. Yeah.
Growing up on Staten Island, you saw that probably. I mean, an insane amount.
Dude, the amount of holes in my wall to put my head through it is insane. And it's not funny. It's never been funny.
You know what I noticed from those pages? That
we all suck as people.
That Italian people who agree with that page think every quality a human being could possibly have is exclusive to Italian people. Oh, you like to laugh? Oh, not like Italian. You don't know how to laugh. You're not Italian.
You have to talk with your hands. I'm sorry. That's how I speak. No, you're an inconsiderate piece of fucking shit, dude.
Oh, you like food? Oh, you don't like food like Italians like food. Oh, they're always appalled that you could possibly like anything because it's like themselves. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think the worst thing that's ever happened to the Italian people. Because there are some really nice Italian people. They're fantastic. I mean, you're talking to one right now. Okay.
Sure. The Morano family.
Morano family is fantastic. Yeah. And I wish nothing but the best for them. And that's it. But the worst thing that's ever happened to Italian people is Sebastian Maniscalco. That is ever because I've grown up with people now that are my age that are trying to get famous on TikTok. They're from Staten Island. They do the what's going on, and I'm like,
they rip off his whole Sebastian Maniscalco.
The headbanger for the episode.
I love it. Hilarious. I love it.
I get so passionate about this shit because, dude, it's annoying.
I remember one time I was at a Dunkin' Donuts and the guy
somewhere I carry.
The guy, two people in front of me on the line, got asked if he wanted sugar in his coffee, and he goes, "Sugar? I'm Italian. Of course I want sugar." And
I would have said, "You are not allowed here anymore. We are not accepting your service."
And the cashier just goes, "Okay," and then just like taps the screen.
You have to dim them out. You have to block them out and act like they're not important because they're not.
I couldn't believe it. Apparently, Italian people are the only people who like sugar in their coffee. Based off that guy's logic, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, movies like, again, I would sacrifice classic movies like The Bronx Tale, Sopranos. I would sacrifice Scarface, which isn't even a.
Oh, people love posting the
All right.
the words of wisdom from Sonny from A Bronx Tale.
Yeah, no. Let's post the inspirational tales of people that I look up to, like Scarface.
If the girl doesn't unlock the car door for you, she is not interested. That's the whole big scene from
If the girl doesn't take my head physically and put it through a wall, she's not.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
We gotta wrap.
It's gonna cut off before we.
It's gonna 100%.
So
we don't even have to plug anything.
You guys know where to. You get the 2 people listening know where to go.
It'll be in the bio. It'll be in the bio.
Link in the bio.